What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video on this semi-rainy Friday morning. I had an idea that I wanted to do. I've done it the last couple of years. My way too early 2024 53-man roster predictions. Now, this is not a guarantee. Way too early is in the title for a specific reason because we still don't know. The Jets could very likely add someone else in free agency before it's all said and done, but this is my prediction for what the 53-man roster would look like with all the information and all the guys that they have right now. Again, this is subject to change. We'll do probably another one at some point in July and talk about the toughest decisions. But for right now, this is my predictions for what the Jets 53-man roster could look like. Also, I just want to shout it out. I know it's May, but it's rainy, and I'm rocking this new jacket that I got from Homage. I want to be buried in this thing. This is the best jacket I've ever seen in my entire life. They knocked it out of the park. Just tremendous. The starter zipper, the black and the white stripe, just so good. Make sure to pick yourself up one. That's not a sponsor, just really, come on. All right, let's get into the video. So my predictions, we'll start with the offense. At quarterback, the Jets will carry three quarterbacks this year: Aaron Rodgers, Tyrod Taylor, and Jordan Travis. Is there a chance they could just IR Jordan Travis? Yes. I am operating under the assumption that he is going to clear, play this summer, and make the roster as the third quarterback. Again, TBD, we'll see, but I'm excited about that one. The running backs are up next, and I do think the Jets end up carrying four. I know some people are concerned about Izzy Abanikanda and him being a potential cut candidate. I don't have him as a cut candidate. I think he ends up making this roster. So Hall, Allen, Abanikanda, and Davis will be the four running backs. In what order is still TBD. Obviously, Hall is going to be the main running back here, the bell cow back, so to speak. But beyond that, I think Allen ends up being RB2, and then Abanikanda and Davis fight for RB3, and we'll see from there. All right, up next, wide receiver. I think the Jets end up carrying 7 wide receivers. Could be 6, but I'll go 7. Wilson, Williams, Corley, Lazard, Irv, Charles, Gibson, and Brownlee. Now, why is Charles making the roster over someone like a Malik Taylor? Well, special teams, and the Jets lost a key special teamer in Justin Hardy this offseason. So Charles has to make this roster because of specials. If they're only willing to carry 6, which is entirely possible, and then I think it's a roster fight between Gibson and Brownlee. The Jets like both those guys, so I think they try to squeeze both on the roster here. At tight end, Conklin, Ruckert, Yeboah. The Jets will carry 3 tight ends. No surprises. Conklin, tight end 1, Ruckert and Yeboah follow there. On the offensive line, rounding out the offense, I have 9 offensive linemen making the roster: Tyron Smith, John Simpson, Joe Tippmann, Elijah Vera Tucker, Morgan Moses. That's the starting 5, with Fashanu, Warren, Schweitzer, and Mitchell as the 4 backups on the offensive line. To the defensive side of the ball we go. I have the Jets carrying 9 defensive linemen: Johnson, Kinlaw, Williams, Reddick, McDonald, Fotu, Thomas, and I have 2 undrafted free agents making the roster, and both are at the defensive line position with Leonard Taylor and McGregor. McGregor's an edge rusher out of Michigan. Taylor, the interior defensive lineman out of Miami. Those are going to be the 2 UDFAs that make it. Maybe Watts, the pass rusher out of UConn, instead of McGregor. But I do think there's a chance we see a couple undrafted free agents. And if we do see them make the roster, I think it's going to be on the defensive side of the ball, and more specifically, the defensive line. The linebacker room, there will be 5 linebackers in the linebacker room: Williams, Mosley, Sherwood, Barnes, and Chaz Surratt. Chaz Surratt makes it for his special teams prowess. Barnes, didn't see a ton of him as a rookie. The Jets really like Jamie Sherwood. No surprise there. He will be the first one up in case of injury. Williams and Mosley as the starters. As for the defensive backs, I have 10 in total: 6 corners, 4 safeties. The 6 corners: Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Michael Carter II, Isaiah Oliver, Brandon Echols, and Quantez Stiggers, who they just drafted. At safety, Chuck Clark, Tony Adams, Ashton Davis, and Key, the Mr. Irrelevant pick. That leaves 3 more spots, which is for the kicker, Greg Zerloin, the punter, Thomas Morstead, and the long snapper, Thomas Hennessy. So there are some cuts in here, and some are maybe a little bit on the surprise side, but when you go through it, I think you can make a realistic case for it. I have Michael Clemens as a cut. Can he make this roster? Yes. Has he been discussed as a potential surprise cut? Also, yes. That is not a unique to myself theory. Jets X Factor put out 7 potential cut candidates or guys who have their roster spot in jeopardy, and Michael Clemens went on that list. Joe Caparoso of Badlands said something similar. I know the Jets, after moving on from John Franklin Myers, have kind of the push to the media has been that they think Michael Clemens can play that role. From what I've seen in 2 years, I don't know if I'm there at that point. I like the potential of both Leonard Taylor and McGregor, or even Watts. We'll see if they go that route. Who knows? Maybe if not, then just swap McGregor for Clemens in that spot. But in my way too early prediction, I'm predicting 2 UDFAs. Jarek Bernard, Converse, they drafted him last year. It didn't really play a whole lot. I mean, they drafted Quantez Stiggers. They have someone else that they just drafted in Key as someone who could potentially be a safety as well. I think he could be an odd man out. Nick Bawden, I think, is an odd man out because I think I see them carrying 4 running backs, Bawden not being a part of that group. And honestly, I would rather see Jeremy Ruckert in that H-back kind of role. Sorry, Nick Bawden. He did serve a purpose on this team. He had a touchdown in week 3 against the New England Patriots, but in this instance, I think it's for the Jets' best interest to not carry a fullback on the roster. On the offensive line, some key, or not necessarily key, but some more notable names that didn't make it. Xavier Newman, he was the hero of the game against the New York Giants, the center that spotted the ball, that was able to get the spike off. Jake Hansen as well played probably too much in 2023. On the defensive side of the ball, Bruce Hector, and unfortunately our guy, Tanzel Smart. I like Tanzel Smart a lot, but I just think he's going to be another practice squad guy. It stinks. I would love to find a spot on the roster for Tanzel, but unfortunately, for him, but just in general, this is a really, really good roster. It's hard. It was hard to go through and narrow it down to 53. I thought I had it, and then I was at 54, so I had to go back and take someone else out. It's tough. It's a really tough job. It's a really tough business, and Tanzel's a great guy. I love him as a person. I like his game as a player. The Jets clearly like him as they keep bringing him back, but I just don't see a spot for him. And then the last guy is Tay Hayes, who is a corner that kind of bounced around the league a little bit. Maybe he sticks. He's stuck on rosters for a little bit, but I feel like he kind of bounces around the league. So I would be surprised if he makes it over some of the Jets' younger guys on the roster. So there's my 53. I want to hear your way too early 53-man roster predictions. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What would you change? Sound off below in the comments. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new. Give the video a like before you go. I'll catch you next time.